Welcome everybody, my name is Tim Sandy and I'm a VMware Systems Engineer. In this session we're going to talk about automation basics, and we're going to talk about the integration between VRealize Automation, VRealize Business, VRealize Operations, VRealize Orchestrator, vCloud Air, and even vSphere 6. So let's get started. So when talking about VRealize Automation, there's 4 essential benefits that we're going to get out of using VRealize Automation. The first one is agility, and it's going to give us the ability to automate a lot of our IT services to be able to deploy them very quickly, and that's going to help meet the business as a whole to meet their needs. By helping automating the IT processes, they will meet their goals and be able to go to faster time to market with their IT services. So agility is very important. Then we have control. Control gives us the personalization. We can create policies and we can ensure that we're enforcing these policies, as well as any standards or quotas or any service level agreements that we have by using these policies. And we're ensuring that by using policies that all of our VMs in our infrastructure are fitting into some sort of a policy which fulfills all those requirements. And it also gives us choice. It protects us and our investments as far as current and future technologies, and we do that by offering multi-vendor support and extensible design with our products, and specifically with automation. So by being able to integrate with our own products as well as other vendors' products, that ensures that both now and in the future, that when you purchase VRealize Automation, that it gives you the ability to continue to use that on and carry through. And finally, efficiency, which helps us improve the IT service delivery because we're automating a lot of processes. It takes less time to be able to do a lot of those day-to-day operational tasks for the IT admins. Again, being able to provide IT services quicker, and by saving time, that means that you're also saving your business money. So that's the 4 key benefits: agility, control, choice, and efficiency. Now, just to kind of give an overview of VRealize Automation and some of the bullet points behind what it's going to do for us. So starting off, again, it delivers that personalization for your business. It provides a self-service experience. And we can do this by creating customized blueprints for VMs. So for example, let's take a test dev environment. They have a 3-tier web application. So it has a web server, an application server, and a database server. And the developers are always spinning these up all the time. Now, normally, without any type of automation, they'd have to put in a request to the IT department. The virtual admin would have to create the VMs, get them built, get it set up. It takes a lot of time to do that, so the developers are waiting for that to happen. Now, by creating these customized blueprints, you're pre-configuring this environment. It's a 3-tier web app, 3 VMs. Everything else is already configured in this blueprint. Then you can go ahead and give your development group and those developers, you can give them the authorized capabilities to go in and be able to deploy one of these blueprints of one of these 3-tier applications. So they're no longer having to wait for IT and put in a request and have IT to be able to do it. They can do it themselves. And it gives us a true multi-tenant environment as well with different permission sets. So if you're looking to be more like an ISP, internet service provider, and you have multiple customers, you can create these environments and assign permissions accordingly to your environments. Or if you're just a single company and you have different departments like test, dev, production, and some other departments, and you want to give them the abilities to deploy VMs using these blueprints, you can go ahead and set up their permissions accordingly so that they can do what they need to do without constantly having to go to IT and say, I need this, and then IT creating them, taking the time to do that. So again, they can also deploy not only the VMs, but also the associated applications on those VMs across multi-vendor and multi-cloud infrastructures. So it gives that ability to rapidly deploy an infrastructure in these application services, ensuring that they all meet the certain standards and the configurations are all the same across the board. And again, we can do that in multi-vendor, multi-cloud infrastructure. So whether it's our vCloud Air or maybe it's Amazon AWS. Those developers, they're not having to recreate the wheel, deploy those VMs, and then they're having to reinstall the applications. They're going to have this particular blueprint. going to have the VMs with the OS, they're going to have the applications installed with the base configuration. Then they can go ahead and just keep redeploying that 3-tier app group or whatever it may be anywhere that they want, whether it be out in the cloud or on-premise. So again, it streamlines that design process when they're trying to build applications. Gives them that standardization and pre-built configuration. If you're a development shop and you're creating software, you're going to have milestones that you're going to have to hit, and there's a life cycle of that project of creating that application and having to track and everything. VRealize Automation is going to give you that release automation and continuous delivery model and give you the capabilities of doing these regular, reliable releases. And it's going to give you the ability to track those changes, giving you versioning control as well. So it's very powerful. And finally, when you wrap all of these up into one, basically it's going to give you one of the fastest times to value that you can get because you're automating all this stuff. So now your business is able to respond very quickly. Your developers are able to do their development much quicker. Everything is done with standardization and much quicker than ever before. Now just to go over pricing and packaging a little bit to let you know, we have the standard, advanced, and enterprise editions. The standard gives you your standard infrastructure services, cloning only, with also the ability to do some VRealize Orchestrator integration. That is standard. And then we have the multi-vendor support, multi-cloud infrastructure support as well, and also software provisioning. So that, and also giving you custom services or access as a service, approvals, reclamation, chargeback, and multi-tenancy. These are all part of what you get in the advanced edition that is also included in standard. Now, just remember that there are some particular restrictions between standard and the advanced regarding the licensing, as you'll note on the bottom here. And then finally, for the Enterprise Edition, it also gives you that full developer package, so to speak, that gives you the ability to do application services, release automation, DevOps integration. So if you have a very large test dev environment and you actually build and deploy software, they're going to be interested in the Enterprise Editions of the licensing. So VMware's working really hard with our automation, our operations, and all of our management and our cloud management platform products. And we're making sure that they're all integrated together. And as you see in this pictorial representation here, you can see where we're depicting that, with VRealize Automation, it also has ties into VRealize Business and VRealize Operations. We also mentioned VRealize Orchestrator. So as we're moving forward, the way we're developing our cloud management platform products such as these, we're ensuring that all of these products are integrating in together. So as you see here in the images, within VRealize Automation, administrators can see the health status of their VMs, and it's a list view, and then they can drill down and look at the status of the individual VMs as well. Once they've understood what the problem is, they can then take corrective actions against it and make the changes that they need to, such as maybe applying more resources such as additional virtual CPU or RAM. But they can also look at network and storage configurations and stuff like that. So when you're in automation, you're not just saying only stuff that's related to automation. If you have the other products installed, there's an inherent integration between our cloud management platform. So you're going to get those tie-in. You're going to be able to see some of this stuff from VRealize Operation, as well as VRealize Business, which is VRealize Business is that tool that helps from, especially if you're doing a multi-tenancy environment and you need to charge each one of your tenants for usage. VRealize Business gives you the breakdown of your costs for hardware, software, whatever it may be, and you can break that out into your multi-tenant environment so you know how to charge each one of your customers individually. So that's kind of just an overview of what VRealize Business is going to give you. It's going to give you all those costs associated to running your environment, your hardware, your software, so basically all that CapEx and OpEx type of. So again, I talked about VRealize Automation having multi-vendor support for cloud environments. So again, enhanced multi-vendor endpoint support, but we also integrate in with vSphere 6, the new version of vSphere, Zen Desktop 7, but we've worked on enhancing our integration with vCloud Air so that way you can connect out and vCloud Air is just seen as an endpoint. And that includes also our new vCloud Air on-demand offering as well. And then you can also integrate in and see OpenStack Havana as an endpoint. So again, we're making it so that, again, not only just right now while you're using the tool, but also in the future, ensuring that you have invested wisely and that you can still use VRealize Automation down the road with other vendors as well. So again, vCloud Air, which is our public cloud offering that is seen as strictly an endpoint within VRealize Automation. So that gives the ability so that I can develop and provision something from my on-premise and deploy it directly to vCloud Air. So again, integration, giving you more flexibility to both your on-premise private cloud, also out to a public cloud instance. In VRealize Automation 6.2, the vCloud Director endpoint is now called vCloud Air, so just a little side note on that, but again, just showing that integration with being able to provision out to the cloud as well. So we have VRealize Automation, which we've been talking about, but then we also mentioned VRealize Orchestrator. So let's take a look at how these products are different. VRealize Orchestrator is basically a general-purpose runbook automation tool that can be used to automate almost any IT process and leverages a VMware and partner-provided library of workflows and plugins. So basically anything that you might do day-to-day as a virtual admin within vCenter, you can use VRealize Orchestrator to go ahead and automate that process. But then we've been talking about VRealize Automation, and that is a purpose-built cloud management tool with broad multi-vendor support, gives you policy-based governance and operational expertise built. So, we've been talking about that. So there is a difference between the two tools. VRealize Orchestrator is more for those workflows relating to tasks that you might do in vCenter, those type of individual items in day-to-day operational tasks. But VRealize Automation is more about IT service delivery, so a little bit different there. So now combining VRealize Automation with VRealize Orchestration, it delivers the best of both of these worlds. It gives you purpose-built cloud management functionality that accelerates your time to value. It combines with a general-purpose automation capability that allows companies to adopt and extend out off-the-shelf cloud automation capabilities to meet those specific needs that they may have. So again, between the two, very powerful. Now, in order to deploy, manage, and understand the cost of your cloud services, you'll need a lot of different capabilities highlighted on the left of this diagram. Many companies make the mistake of thinking that all I need is simple self-service for infrastructure services, but as the cloud usage increases and the type of services expands, there will also be a corresponding increase in the functionality demands, of course, for your cloud management software. So yes, you can use VRealize Orchestrator to build some of those same capabilities available today in VRealize Automation, but some assembly is going to be required. So again, there is going to be a manual process of building those workflows. So that's going to be a little more challenging if you're just relying on the VRealize Orchestrator to be able to do that. You'll also be able to use other VMware Realize management products with your custom-built cloud. Again, but some of the integration will be required to achieve the level of integration available in the product today as well as in the future. So again, VRealize Business, giving you that business insight of costing for your running your IT environment. VRealize Operations gives you that deep insight into the day-to-day operations, the health of your environment. VRealize CodeStream, again, is about for software developers for that release management type of product is what it does. And then, of course, Orchestrator we talked about. Now, some companies start off with the idea that they can use a general-purpose runbook automation tool like VRealize Orchestrator, and then build some scripts, build their own cloud management platform themselves. Before you head down that path, though, there's some hidden costs that you should consider. Although avoiding the initial purchase price seems attractive, historically development costs far exceed software costs, though. The initial thinking a lot of times is that we can just get through, we can put something together very quickly by creating some of these workflows and automation using something like VRealize Automation, or Orchestrator, excuse me. One of the reasons for this second hidden cost of maintenance is this is something that goes on forever. The greater your adoption of the more changes you'll need to make to your environment. Not to mention what happens when your custom cloud engineer decides to leave the company. What will you do then? So again, he creates these workflows and this automated process with a tool, but then when he leaves and 2 years later somebody needs to go in and modify that, they have no idea how to do it. The third hidden cost is that custom solutions are typically designed to meet the needs of the initial group and typically require extensive modifications to meet the needs of any groups later on. So again, a lot of hidden costs there, a lot of manual effort, a lot of time and money to create these very specific workflows or automation pieces. And again, later on, when you need to, your intentions change, you're going to have to redo that all over again. So there's a lot of cost involved. And finally, the most important question you should be asking is what business are you really in? Is it building cloud management software to work with your business, or are you in the business to do something else? So often lost opportunity costs of your primary business far outweigh any savings that you're going to possibly get with these built-in-yourself type of projects. So in summary, the build it yourself option may provide a short-term win because of the initial cost looks very attractive, but in the long term, history will show that doing it that way is definitely not on your side. So how do you balance the needs of quickly deploying a private or hybrid cloud solution with getting a cloud which meets the specific requirements of your business? You will not likely find a cloud automation solution that's going to meet 100% your needs. It's pretty much impossible. The reason is every business has a very unique way of doing business and their needs are very unique. So they have their own infrastructure, their own tools and best practices. Even in the same company, there's a lot of different groups that do business very differently from one another. You'll see that in very large organizations. VMware's VRealize Automation delivers a quick time to value due to its comprehensive purpose-built functionality, broad multi-vendor support, and built-in operational expertise. So again, it gives you everything that you need without having to recreate the wheel and doing all these very manual processes. However, its extensible automation framework based on the embedded version of VRealize Orchestrator and the library of VMware and partner provided workflows and plugins make it a lot easier and less costly for you to customize to meet those needs of the either individual departments or just the business as a whole. So again, it gives you the flexibility, but it gives you the tools to help save you the time and the money to be able to do this without having to recreate the wheel every time you need some small change done. Your cloud environment should be a business relevant cloud, which is optimized for the way you do business and personalized to meet the unique needs of your users, not anybody else's. Our customers tell us that VRealize Automation is a perfect mix between fast and flexible, consistent delivery, as well as providing a very quick time to value for the cloud. Some of the ways we help companies accelerate that delivery of their automated cloud services are basically broken down into giving comprehensive functionality, extensible automation framework, and then finally we have our VMware Solution Exchange Cloud Management Marketplace. So that completes this session on VRealize Automation Basics. And we've also, again, covered not only VRealize Automation, but the integrations of VRealize Automations with our other VMware products that fall under our cloud management platform, which again give you a complete insight into your organization from operations to business to development and again with automation. So as you see, VMware has a collection of tools that can help you be very successful in running your business and being very flexible and agile all the time and giving you the capabilities that you need to make sure that your business stays agile and can do the things that they need to do in a timely manner. Before we complete today's session, I wanted to also mention our VMware Enablement Registration and Calendar page, in case you're not familiar with it. The enablement and registration and event calendar page, we provide you a registration link as you see there on the bottom on the left hand side of the slide, where you can go out, give us some basic information about yourself as far as what kind of role you're in, your email address, and what kind of enablement sessions you would like to stay attuned with as far as 100, 200, 300 level based on whether you're sales, technical sales, or engineering. You can select one, two, or all three of them if you choose. And once you do get registered, that we'll go ahead, we'll get your email address, and then whenever we have upcoming enablement events, we'll go ahead and send out a reminder email of those events to you. And then the second step that you should do is to go out to our event calendar, where we will have these events listed so that you can check your schedule and see which events that you can attend, and you can compare your schedule against our event calendar as well. And one additional note I'd like to mention, in case you're not aware, we also have our Tech Data VMware Training Camp site. And with the Training Camp site, if you haven't already opted in, I do highly recommend that you do that. There's lots of benefits that you can take advantage of, starting with a dedicated training camp coach that will help you grow your VMware business. It provides you advantages such as enablement, free training, possible MDF funds, lead generation opportunities, are just some of the many benefits that it offers you. So be sure to leverage this great resource. And finally, this slide just shows you many of the great resources here at Tech Data that are a part of the training camp team to help you become successful with selling VMware and help you through that training camp process. So I highly recommend that you go out and get registered for our enablement sessions, check the calendar, as well as opt into the Data Training Camp program. So with that, that completes today's session. I hope this session was informative to you, and I hope to see you come back and watch more of our enablement sessions. Thank you and have a great day.